Welcome to Entry Point Faith. Join us each week to discover fresh meaning in the world and find faith your way. Now, here is Pastor Nancy Lafferty.
Mind, body, and spirit. Because our three parts are interconnected, every problem we address must involve all three. This process, which we call integration, is holistic. It is a returning to the original natural harmony between mind, body, and spirit. Without a holistic approach, we always feel a little bit off, like something's missing or out of balance. We're also more likely to focus on symptoms rather than on root causes. Now, in 1 Thessalonians, which is in the New Testament, we encounter the recognition of these areas of our lives with these words. May the God of peace make you perfect in holiness. May you be preserved whole and complete, spirit, soul, and body. Many of us are affected by how we handle the stress that life brings us. If chronic stress is left unchecked over a period of time, it takes a toll on our bodies. A strong faith can help us to cope with the stress that we experience in our life and enable the impact of that stress to be less significant. Without a strong personal faith, we must resort to our own resources to cope with stress. Often, we attempt to cope with this stress through addictions or other methods of escape. This behavior can further negatively impact our physical health. A strong personal faith can be a resource that helps us to manage stress and difficulty. I believe that the recognition of this relationship between mind, body, and spirit is not only incredibly important, but it does help us to maintain wellness within our mind, our body, and our spirit. And it's life-saving because it gets us through the storms of life. When tough times hit us, we rely on all three. We rely on our bodies, we rely on our minds and our spirits, and we need all three of those aspects to support us literally, to get us through the challenge. In today's video clips, we return back to the life of Pi, as you saw in the first clip. It is the story of a young man named Pi, who is stranded on a lifeboat with a tiger. We have seen him already in the first clip cry out to God for help. His plight serves as a metaphor for the storms, the difficulties of our lives. Each one of us have had those storms in our life. So today, while you're watching these clips, think about the times in your life when you felt like you were stranded on a lifeboat. Think about the times in your life when you felt like you were trapped somewhere with a tiger. Pay attention to how this young man's mind, body, and spirit work together to help him through this incredible difficulty. So we may not be stranded on a life raft with a tiger, but we have all had difficult seasons in our lives. We have all gone through those desperate, unbelievably frightening times, and we'll go through them again, won't we? We fare best when we are balanced in our mind, body, and spirit. An athlete doesn't wait until the night before the tryouts to start learning how to play the game. An actor doesn't wait until opening night to learn the lines of the play. We need to keep our minds and our bodies and our spirits tended and fed so that the relationship between them can be as balanced as possible, so that when the sudden, surprising challenge arrives, we have some resources to fall back on. If we wait until we're stranded on the open sea to try to find something bigger than ourselves to believe in, well, we're a little late to the party. Now, how will we know if we're doing a good job of balancing those elements or not? How will we know if we are healthy and ultimately balanced in our body and in our mind and in our spirit? Well, according to a wonderful article entitled Wellness, written by Dr. Brian Seward, there are some identifying markers of well-being, of wellness, in each of the three parts of our being. Physical wellness is the easiest to identify because our bodies are tangible and measurable. We are physically well when our body's systems are working optimally. There are tests that can be run, of course, to determine our wellness level. Those tests are run when we go to the emergency room to see what's going on in the body. Measuring our mental wellness is a little more difficult. Our mental well-being is understood as the ability to gather, process, recall, and communicate information. Also part of the wellness of our minds, our emotional well-being. It's best defined, now this is really interesting. We are emotionally well off if we have the ability to feel and express the entire range of human emotions, from anger to love, and this is important, and to control them, not be controlled by them. The ability to feel and express the entire range of human emotions, from anger to love, and to control them, not be controlled by them. Our spiritual well-being is defined by the maturing of our higher consciousness. Our spiritual well-being is measured by our relationships, by our personal value system, by our design of a meaningful purpose in life. We know how to exercise our bodies. We know that we need connection and breaks to strengthen our minds. But how, you might be asking, how do we strengthen our spirit? Well, I think we show that, I think we work out our spirit just like we work out our body. We give it exercise. Since our spirit gives us meaning and purpose, and our spirit enables us to love one another, then we practice that. We practice loving one another, even when it's hard. Our spirit gives us intuition between right and wrong. We know what's right. We know when something's wrong. We exercise that intuition. We don't ignore it. We take time to figure out what our own personal value system is. We don't ignore the big questions in life. We actively seek and design a meaningful purpose to our lives. We work out our spiritual muscles just like we work out our body and our minds. Author Leo Buscaglia has written, "The fact that I can plant a seed and it becomes a flower, share a bit of knowledge and it becomes another's, smile at someone and receive a smile in return, are to me continual spiritual exercises." I challenge each one of us to care enough about the quality of our lives and the lives of others, to seek balance in that relationship between our mind, our body, and our spirit. Let's keep ourselves fit. Let's keep ourselves balanced in all areas, so when the storms of life come along, we are much better equipped to handle it. Amen.
Thanks for listening in on this week's discussion on Entry Point Faith. You can join the Entry Point Faith community in person every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. at Conner Prairie in Fishers, Indiana. For more information and a transcript of Nancy's messages, visit entrypointonline.org. Entry Point Faith is brought to you in partnership with mypodcast.media.